into it. Our next session is AI in Action, Key Opportunities for AI-Driven Innovation. So basically taking a look at AI through the needs, the human needs, and how AI can shape or reshape the consumer expectations for the future. And the person to talk about this has been playing a pivotal role in terms of sharing her insight into the consumer behavior within this region. She is the Asia lead of Trend Watching, which is a leading resource organization for consumer trends and insights in innovation powered by analysts and also AI. Please welcome to the stage, Acacia Leroy.
Hello, Techsauce. A very good morning / almost afternoon to everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Acacia, Asia lead for Trend Watching, and super happy to be here to talk to you about AI today. Now, I know that my session is the second to last one standing between you and lunch, so I promise I'll make it worth your time, because for the next 20 minutes, we're going to talk about the biggest buzzword of this year, which is none other than artificial intelligence. But we are also going to zoom in to very practical implications and very practical opportunities for you and what it means for your business, your innovation opportunities. Now, I know that this question must be on your mind because it seems like everyone is racing to integrate AI into their offerings. Apple very cheekily introduced AI, Apple Intelligence, promising with iOS 18 coming up to put the power of the latest GPT models and the latest AI models into the hands of millions of Apple users. AI is also promising to change the hardware that we interact with. A lot of these first-generation AI hardwares, like the Rabbit R1 that you see on screen, they would like to give you a more intuitive way to interact with AI and the world around you, and ultimately make smartphones as we know them obsolete. A lot of them, also like the Rabbit R1 that you see on screen, have mostly been flops so far. But what they do is point towards a future where our relationship with technology and the world around us will be increasingly seamless and intuitive. People themselves are actively experimenting with AI in various ways that range from the expected, like using AI for social media content generation, to ways that are a bit more controversial, such as using AI to make virtual friends or using AI to help them grieve by creating AI deathbot avatars. Now, amidst all of that change, I know that as business professionals, as innovators, as entrepreneurs in this room, one question that is on your mind is to think about what does it really mean for you and how do we leverage AI to actually create better innovations? Now, to answer this question, we should look at AI as an innovation and to define what is actually an innovation. I think I actually have a missing slide here, but that's okay. I'll still talk about the concept first. So to define innovation, we actually need to differentiate the idea of what is an idea, what is an invention, and what is an innovation. And to do that, let's unpack it through the story of how humans first took to the skies. Now, in the late 1800s, the Wilbur brothers, the Wright brothers, had a great idea. They thought, wouldn't it be nice if humans could take to the skies? Now, that idea, they worked on it, and as a result, they made an invention. In 1903, they made the first passenger-carrying flying machine. At this point, however, flying wasn't really an innovation because it was not set up for mainstream adoption and take-up yet. Flying was possible, but it didn't really add any value to people's lives at large yet. It wasn't until the 1950s with developments like pressurized cabins, like even in-flight services, that flying became a true innovation that added value to people's lives and commercial flights took off. So this is the idea that when something becomes an innovation, it is when an invention is not just there for the sake of itself, but the invention is harnessed to serve basic human needs. So if I ask you right now, where is AI on that spectrum between an idea or an invention or an innovation, it's probably somewhere in between being just an invention and an innovation. So shifting it on that spectrum and to make AI become truly an innovation that serves people requires a grounding in basic human needs. And by basic human needs, we mean the needs for convenience, the need for authenticity, the need for social connection. And this is actually a really useful framework to think about innovation in general, not just when it comes to AI. Because yes, there's always so much change in the world, but amidst all of this change, it's useful to always remember that at the heart of it, all of us as humans, we are still the same old humans with the same old human needs. And these human needs do not change. It's just that with change in the world, the way we satisfy these needs are changing. And we're already seeing this with AI as well. For example, humans are now serving our need for convenience through smarter and smarter AI assistants. And when new change in the world, such as AI, serves human needs in better ways, it gives rise to new developments that actually gives rise to new emerging expectations. It changes people's expectations on what is possible and what should be available to them. And ultimately, consumer trends are patterns of changing consumer expectations. Being able to identify and spot these trends will help you understand the new expectations that people have in the world today, the expectations they have towards the world around them and towards the businesses that are supposed to be serving their needs. And understanding these expectations will give you actionable opportunities for innovation to address these expectations with new products, new services, new experiences that help people serve their needs in better ways. So for the next remaining time that we have, we're going to talk about 3 trends, and each trend is a new pattern of emerging expectation amongst people that AI is giving rise to, but at the same time, AI can also help you address these expectations, presenting your business with an opportunity to innovate for your target consumers. So let's get to it. One study found that 90% of online content will be AI generated by 2026. Now, this is interesting, but it's also actually really bad for business because consumers are already overwhelmed by the amount of information, the amount of content, the amount of offerings that are being thrown their way every single moment. Almost a quarter of consumers have walked away from purchases from commerce simply because they are overwhelmed. So infinite creation presents an opportunity for businesses for considered curation. On one hand, AI is going to give rise to this overwhelm, but on the other hand, AI can also be the solution that helps you deliver more streamlined curation for your users, your customers, your audience. And Asian consumers, especially in this region, already have elevated expectations for AI to streamline their daily lives. 88% of Asians are inclined to delegate their tasks to AI assistants, and this is actually a much higher percentage than the rest of the consumers worldwide. About 69% of them actually also say that they would be happy to have an AI clone that they can delegate daily tasks to. So this brings us to our first trend for the day, which is AI genies. And it's all about how consumers will be embracing next generation assistants that streamline digital interactions, delivering considered curation. One example of how this is already happening out there is an innovation by the browser company. They just released Arc Search, a new mobile app that helps you search the web in a more intuitive way. So let's see how this works, and I hope my video works. Oh, okay, I guess no video. But basically, you can look it up after this, but Arc Search helps you search the web, summarizes web pages, and then very intuitively gives you the information that you need in a very simple way. And I know that some of you are thinking, actually Google search is already doing that as well, like giving you a summary of search results rather than just a bunch of links on the SRP. But Arc Search does it in a way that's much more intuitive, and it responds to you in real time as well. And another thing to think about when considering this trend is to understand that a lot of the AI tools that people interact today still requires the users to type in their input, type in their prompts, and type in their search requests into like a bar. But multimodal AI tools means that we will have increasingly smarter and smarter AI gadgets that can quote unquote see your environment and understand your environment and respond accordingly, perhaps proactively even, such as you're already seeing this with the example of the Meta and Ray-Ban smart glasses that can now dole out style advice by looking at what you're wearing in the mirror. So one key takeaway from this trend is to think about where might your offering benefit from AI-fueled discovery, curation, execution that streamlines the task for the consumer. All right, for our next innovation opportunity from magical AI genies, we're gonna look at something truly mundane. Have you noticed that it's actually really difficult to find something truly original these days? Take, for example, car design. If you think about it, all cars kind of look the same. And we can actually chalk this up to the wind tunnel testing effect. All cars have to be tested through the wind tunnel. There's a formula for what type of car performs best in the wind tunnel, and therefore, all cars are designed according to the formula, and they all end up looking the same. This phenomenon of blanding is something coined the age of average by strategist Alex Murrow. And it doesn't just affect the automotive industry, it affects all kinds of industries, including, for example, entertainment. There is a formula for what type of music performs best on streaming platforms and makes the most money. So artists now tend to optimize the way they write their songs to fit that formula and succeed on streaming platforms. As a result, we get music tracks that increasingly sound the same. Now, in a presentation about AI, why am I telling you all of this? It's because this global monoculture is actually cheating consumers out of true novelty. As the end consumer, it is really hard for us to find offerings, experiences, products that are truly new, truly novel, truly surprising and delightful. And increasingly, people are pushing back against this blah. So taking the example of all music tracks sound the same, younger consumers on TikTok are not taking this anymore, and they're saying, if all your music sounds the same, I'm going to remix it myself so that it will fit the content that I want to post. And Spotify is responding to this behavior by giving them the tools to do exactly that. And now, if you add AI into the mix, AI is actually going to fuel this behavior even more. This behavior of consumers saying that I want truly novel products that are not available out there, and using AI, I can dream up all of these fantasy products, even if they're just digital content for now. If you were on social media earlier this year, you would have seen many of these examples of fantasy Lego sets. These sets do not exist, but consumers use AI to create images of what type of Lego sets they wish existed, that they wish they could play with, and they posted it on social media. Now, what's the innovation opportunity here? If there's anyone from Lego in the room, I'm not saying you should go ahead and create this fantasy Lego sets, although that would be amazing. I would definitely buy some of them. But the opportunity here is really to give consumers more control over the product, services, content offering that they are interacting with. This is a trend we call remix brands, about how brands can co-create at a deeper level with consumers to unlock deeper personalization, customization, as well as customer creativity. One example of remix brand in action is seen in Showrunner. It is a new streaming platform coming out of the US for animated titles. And what it does is it has an AI tool embedded in the platform that allows viewers to generate their own episodes. So you can watch the existing episodes, and after you've reached the last one, you can now go to the AI tool, type in your prompt as to what you think should happen in the next episode, or what could happen, or what you want to see happen. and then the AI will generate the scenes, voice them, stitch them together, animate them, and create a brand new episode based on your prompts that you can now watch. Now, conceptually, this is really interesting because it solves a lot of consumer pain points, actually. Number one, people don't have to wait another week or another year for the next episode or the next season of their favorite TV shows. So people are impatient. You solve that problem for them. You realize a lot of fan fictions out there. Fan fiction is as old as entertainment itself. People always want to insert themselves and think about what they want to see in their favorite fantasy worlds. And also, it pushes back against that blah of like TV shows and TV ideas that all just sound the same year after year. Will the episodes generated via AI by viewers be great episodes? Most of them probably won't be that good. Will they win awards at the Emmys next year? Most likely not. But what this innovation shows us is a future where there is a deeper expectation for consumers to be able to participate in the co-creation of the products that they consume. And this trend applies not just to digital content or entertainment, it can also apply to tangible product design. Nike Athlete Imagine Revolution, AIR, is a project by Nike where they partnered with 13 athletes to design the prototypes of shoes of the future from scratch based on each athlete's individual needs, preferences, tastes, and input. The pictures that you see on screen are the examples of these prototype shoes. And of course, we're not seeing any athletes wear these shoes at the Paris Olympic Games yet right now. But what this points out again is towards the future where customization really is not just a final layer that you apply to the end of the consumer journey. You know, you want to buy a sneaker, you go to a website, look at the existing catalog of designs, pick one, and then maybe at the end of it, you can customize the color of the shoelaces that you're getting. But instead, customization is embedded into the heart of the consumer journey from the point of inception. So, is your business ready for a future where there is no more set templates and catalogs, but every offering is created, personalized, and customized to each individual from the very start? If that sounds too ambitious for now, think about where might you give greater control to your users, your customers, your audience, to be able to hack and remix your product and your brand to suit their needs in better ways. Now, for the final trend and final innovation opportunity, we're going to tackle some of the more ethical questions and issues surrounding the use of AI, namely biased algorithms. So, tech publication The Verge created a social experiment earlier in the year with Meta's AI image generator and found that the image generator could not produce an image of an Asian man with a Caucasian wife. So no matter what type of combination of prompt that you put into the generator, this is the kind of picture that you get from Meta's image generator. The same experiment also found that the generator has some other subtle biases. For example, the Asian man always looks older, the Asian woman always looks younger and has fair skin, and when prompted specifically to come up with South Asian people, the people always come out looking, wearing traditional Indian saris. So, biased data results in biased algorithms. On the other hand, efforts to solve this problem or address this issue at least actually results in the other spectrum of the problem, as Google Gemini demonstrated that efforts to make AI less biased actually created results that are outright inaccurate or just historically not correct. The good news is most people still have very optimistic expectations that AI can bring people together across divides and across different groups. So, there is a very interesting opportunity here for all the ambitious brands out there. And we just heard earlier about purpose, about innovating for a better world. So if that's on your agenda, there is a very real opportunity to subvert this expectation of AI being actually biased and actually use AI to address issues of biasness to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, fairness in society. Now, the example I'm going to go with for this trend is not going to be one of those obvious examples where I'm sure you can immediately think about how to apply this to regular DEI issues, but think about other equity and fairness issues that still plague society today. Now, Atmo Inc. is a new weather forecasting platform that is helping developing markets create more accurate weather forecasting models to help with disaster prediction and mitigation efforts. The problem here is that traditional weather forecasting models are actually funded and developed by developed markets who do have the budgets to create these expensive weather forecasting models. And as a result, developing countries like those in Southeast Asia, like the Philippines or Vietnam, they might not have the budget or the ability to create their own weather forecasting models, and they have to use these hand-me-downs from other markets. And the weather forecasting models are not accurate because it was never made for the region, it was never made for the market. But now with AI, Atmo Inc. can simplify that process, make it cheaper to create targeted weather forecasting models so that markets like the Philippines and Vietnam can now have more accurate systems as well. So if you think about it, what are some of these issues that still persist in society today about equity, about fairness, about non-equal access to actually basic essential services? And how might your business address that? And how might AI actually help supercharge your offerings? So one final takeaway point to leave you with is to think about how you can develop offerings with inclusivity, equity, equal access to basic services as the starting point, and how can AI help supercharge your efforts? Now, those are the three trends, three actionable opportunities that you can run with AI today. We have AI genies, we have remix brands, and we have synthetic inclusion. And the question is, how will you now address this AI-fueled expectations? Now, we've talked about three trends, and I've thrown a lot of information your way in just a short amount of time. So if you're already worrying about, oh, I can't remember all of that, and I can't remember all of the opportunities, don't worry, I have a small gift for you at the end of this presentation. As part of your ticket to Techsauce event, you will also get a complimentary access to the Trend Watching Amplify platform, which is our online intelligence database that has all of our trends and all of our innovation databases, a lot of statistics and data and insights that can help you identify your innovation opportunity. You can scan this QR code, and I'm sure in the communications from the Techsauce team, they will also let you know how to access the platform. You'll get a 1-month free complimentary trial access where you can see all of the insights on the platform, and feel free to chat with us as well if you want to find out how you can do it better. And finally, we are actually going to have a workshop later in the afternoon to help you think about how do you unpack trends and create innovation ideas out of these trends. So with that, I wish you all the best in your AI-fueled innovation journey. Thank you so much, Techsauce.